Hi, welcome to Beyond Today's podcast with the Rod and Cindy Show. It's a great day at Beyond Today. We're having this wonderful fun time at Beyond Today. I have a lot of great things to talk about today, but there's somebody next to me that wants to say something.
Well, hello. Yes, Cindy here.
Hi, Cindy there.
Well, hi, Rod over there.
How are you doing?
I'm doing lovely, great, and awesome.
I am so...
worked on two beautiful people, had a couple of great color sessions, energy sessions.
Oh my gosh, that is amazing.
I'm in blissfulness.
Well, you are. You know, we kind of always like to start and talking with each other and saying hi to each other. But today's kind of a special day. I went out and bought some new stuff to be live on Facebook while we do this podcast. I'm so excited.
Moving up.
Yes, and so I'm going to have to talk a little more professional, like a professional radio guy. I'm going to say, yes, today's live at Beyond Today. We're going to be talking with Daniel Medina. Does that sound good? No? All right.
Did you see the look on my face?
Yeah, I saw the look.
Cindy's excited. We're having to tie her down to the chair because she's going to float out of here
Tie her down to
any minute.
That'd actually be kind of fun to see her tied to a chair.
Don't ruin my blissful moment here.
We won't. No, absolutely. So,
Just kidding.
So
It's
that voice
beautiful.
you heard, that was Daniel Medina.
Hi, Daniel.
Yes,
Hi.
let's hear from the crowd.
Yes.
Daniel's in the house.
Shh. Happy to be here. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely, we love having you.
Excellent.
You're the man of the hour. You know that.
I'll take it.
You truly are.
I'll take it. Yeah, I'll take it. Exciting. I'm glad to be here. I'm glad to be part of this community.
We're glad to have you as this community. What do you do here at Beyond Today?
Well, I just have started a yoga class on Tuesday evenings. So every Tuesday at 5:30, we have opened the doors to Beyond Today to yoga. So very excited. I used to, when I was traveling Thailand, I found some little posts near a palm tree that led me to some of the most awesome yoga work I did in the whole world. So I have duplicated that concept by making fun little yoga signs that you can see out on 28th Drive every Tuesday, all day, Tuesday, every day, directing you to the best yoga class in the West Valley.
Woohoo!
So would that also be Taco Tuesday at the same time?
I don't know anything about tacos, but bring your yoga mat and let's do some yoga.
Yoga Tuesdays, right on.
Yoga Tuesdays.
Unless they're non-gluten tofu tacos.
There you go.
I don't want to hear it.
Isn't that funny? Non-gluten. Today's podcast is brought to you by Beyond Today. We're located at 11223 North 28th Drive, Suite F101 in Phoenix, Arizona. Our zip code is 85029. We have a wonderful phone number. It's 602-374-4926. That phone number again was what, Cindy?
Don't have my glasses on. I'll see if I can figure it out. 602-374-4926. Give us a call so we can chat and do some energy work on you or massage or whatever you're in need of.
Absolutely. Whatever your need of. I love that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we have counselors here too. You know that?
We have counselors. Absolutely. We have one of them in our audience. Thank you, Cindy.
Yay. Hi.
Yay.
And everybody on Facebook Live can kind of see that we have this beautiful background here. We have a lake that is around us, and it's just gorgeous. And Dan, you know, can I just call you Dan?
Dan
The man comes here with his yoga, and he presents this beauty out in front of everybody at Beyond Today. I'm so impressed. You know what? I almost went to yoga the other night. I almost did.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow. What stopped you?
Well, I thought you might be impressed by just me telling you that.
Oh, yeah, of course.
She's not going to be impressed until you actually execute and get your bottom on a mat and come to a class.
Well, speaking of bottom on the mat, I was going through my yoga pants, and that was probably what stopped me is my yoga pants. Yes.
That's
Yes. I haven't
hate
worn
when
them
that
since I
happens.
was 22 years old.
Oh.
Yes.
Ooh.
So it's been a couple years ago that my
You
yoga
need to
pants.
get on the mat, man.
Yeah, whatever. So we've been having some really good discussions even before we started this and that. And Daniel's quite the conversationalist. He's got some wonderful ideas and thought process and everything else and that. What's going on in your life? Tell me a little
Well,
bit.
I'd love to share a little bit of my story. And so I'm originally actually from Taos, New Mexico, born in ambulance on the way to being born. I guess I was in a hurry to get out, or my hippie parents weren't organized enough, one or the other. So I spent the first couple decades of my life in New Mexico and ended up in Mesa, Arizona as a teenager. And so I went to Chandler High School, and then I went to ASU. And then I was entered the real world, so to speak, right?
Ooh.
It all gets very real when those student loans start to come in, and there's no more free time to go to the rec and play ping pong, right?
It's a wreck and go play ping pong.
Ping pong.
There's
Wow.
ping pong. It's a
Go
good-
Forrest Gump.
Oh my god, that was good.
But
I
yeah,
think-
so I graduated ASU in finance, and I went out into the real world and went to California. I was living in San Francisco for a bit, and actually I shared with the group here this evening. I was visiting some friends in New York on 9/11 of 2001. I flew into New York, and so 6 hours before all that went down, and that kind of rattled me a little bit. I had never been close to something so life-threatening. I mean, we all get into cars, and that's a life-threatening experience every day, but this was a little bit different. So I decided to come back and buy a couch, get a dog, and start my real estate license. I sold real estate in the Valley for about 9 years.
So, wait.
Nice.
Buy a couch and get a dog.
Yeah.
What does that have to do with real estate?
Well, it had to do with me actually committing to living in one place. I had kind of been living a gypsy lifestyle.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and so getting a couch actually was a very hard step for me. I'm being honest here. I'm kind of cute, but smart, but honest.
True that.
So I was trying to find a couch that was inflatable, to be honest with you, that I could just
Inflatable
blow it
couch.
up, and then when I wanted to leave, I could just decompress it and, take it with me. So
Wow.
so
So portable couch.
Yes.
Right on.
Yes. So getting a couch and getting a dog were two huge steps in me actually putting roots back into Phoenix.
Right on.
So that's interesting. I'm sorry. I'm still
I
dumbfounded by this. Is that if you buy a couch and a dog, it
And a
means you're
dog.
staying.
Exactly. Yes.
Oh, okay.
That's
No bed.
Those are
I don't.
The
I'm
couch
not-
is
I don't have a
versatile, too.
couch or a dog. Does that mean
Yeah.
I'm not staying
I
anymore?
don't. I keep my eye on him, Cindy. I don't know.
Probably you're right.
No couch, no bed.
Yes. But I've been here
How well
since
do you know
90
this guy?
Yeah. How well do you know me? I don't know him at all. Anyway, that's fascinating. So you were out here selling real estate.
Selling real estate. I thought I was hot stuff. I was.
Uh-oh.
I had several vehicles. I had a team. I had all kinds of rental property. Everybody wanted to talk to Daniel Medina, right? And so I was, counting my money and doing my Excel sheets to see how much equity I had been building. And then 2008 rolled around, and everything started to get hyperinflated, and nobody could buy. And all of a sudden, my real estate empire started to take a slow journey down the porcelain path, so to speak.
Nicely put.
Yeah. Some of these things I'm not going to touch on. Okay.
Okay. That. Yeah. all right.
Porcelain path.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not. I'm not touching that one.
I bet it was white.
Okay. Well, he had a dog and a couch,
Yeah, it's
and
all
obviously
that
had a
They stayed
porcelain
with me
something.
though.
They stayed
too.
with
They
you?
were
Oh.
Dog's a man best friend.
There you go.
And actually that dog I got back in 2001 is still with me. Unbelievable.
Oh my God.
Yes.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yeah.
You know what my mom says? God is spelled, or dog is spelled, one way or the other, right? God and dog is backwards, however, which one your word you're saying. And she says, you know what? It's man's best friend. Just as God is, right? So is your dog. That's what my mom says.
I think if we could love each other, if we could learn to love each other like our dogs love us, the world would be a much more harmonious place,
Amen.
right?
I was more of a cat person my whole life until a few years ago. And I have this cute little long-haired chihuahua. Oh,
A
he's
mean
so
chihuahua.
No, he's not mean. He's very protective.
Right. He has no teeth and he likes to bite me.
Oof.
He's really cute though.
So I'm listening here.
So-
He's a man's best friend and everything else. So let's step into the next phase. Of
Okay.
Daniel.
So my real estate empire slowly went down the drain. I actually went to Thailand because I thought I could go to Thailand and wait out whatever was going on in the market. But
What, were you hiding?
well, yeah, you could. Yeah, I thought
Okay.
I could leave and then come back, and
Gotcha.
things would be back to normal. And I had an amazing time, and that's a whole other podcast. that's a whole nother. I recommend Thailand to anybody who's wanting to travel. Asia is incredible. Thailand's amazing. But I couldn't wait it out. I came back. It was still the same situation. And so I just started to see my houses be reclaimed by the banks. So I asked myself in that scenario, I'm going to have to start again. And I asked myself, what was I most passionate about at the time? And that was yoga. So I went down to Suiha, which is a community in Tempe, and I got my training in yoga. And I had been practicing for probably about 9-10 years at the time. That's how I dealt with my stress from real estate.
Right.
And so I started teaching yoga, and it was awesome. It was awesome. I still teach yoga, so it is a.
And you're an amazing teacher in that. But it's really funny is I got to tell you the story is that the first time somebody told me that you did yoga, honest to goodness, I heard toga. I did. I mean, we were at the fair. Cindy and I had this fair, and you were out there and during the fair. You had a booth here and everything, and somebody had came up to me and says, Daniel out there, he does toga. It's like, oh, good, Animal House man. He's like, yeah, he's a partier. And I was like, so I thought this whole time, then Daniel came in here to talk to me about doing yoga, and I'm like, oh, okay, I guess I heard wrong. So that's beautiful. So SWIHA, which is Southwestern Institute of Healing Arts,
Yes.
that's here in that with my dear friend. She runs it, and she's a beautiful woman.
Yes.
So I'm so happy. So now you do this yoga. You got some other modalities that go with this, right?
Absolutely, yeah. So basically, what happened is I moved into a fun little, very eclectic home in Sunny Slope that didn't have any neighbors, and but had an amazing front yard with a pond that created a pond and had palm trees. I basically recreated like a little scene in Thailand in my front yard, and it was a chance for me to. I had a baby coming born at that time too, so. It was like real estate died, then the baby came, and then I started doing yoga all at the same time. So it was this huge transition in my life. Yeah. And one of the things that was really a painful part of my youth is that my parents were always working. They were just always just this amazing work ethic. We're always out working. And so I would look at other families going to, Golfland or going on doing kind of fun family activities. And it was a piece that I really missed because they're so busy pursuing this dream or having this work ethic that they really felt like I just wanted some quality time with my parents once in a while. So when my real estate stuff ended and I had time to just be with my son and teach yoga, and I had an amazing community of really wonderful people around me I would drop him off, I would go teach a class, and I would come back. And my son and I were just reminiscing about it the other day about some of the really neat people that actually used to watch him, and two of them that have died since then. But just, and to have that memory of him being a little kid and getting almonds and me teaching and coming back and just getting support from a community when my whole world had basically been destroyed. So it was a neat time. I look back at that Sunny Slope days with fondness for sure.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
And so I broke that chain of like not being there for my child, right? And I was able to have a lot of time with him and really connect with him. And we didn't have a lot of money, but we had a lot of time together. And I think for me that was a really healing process.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that, especially in the healing world out there, that have gone from money to no money. I mean, that's from a lots to nothing, and. We don't always have to give up everything to realize where we're at, but we do realize what's more important to us in life, and our family and who we love and everything, and doing what we do is really important to us. And now every Tuesday when Dan comes out here, he puts these little signs out front.
They're really
right down
cute.
28th. They're so cute, and everybody always comments about that. And it's like, that's your passion, and that's who you are, and everything else is that you've put this out there that this is what you want, and I commend you for that, and what you've gone through to even get here is amazing. That.
Well, it's funny. I actually when I'm out pounding those signs into the driveway, I think about when I used to put out signs out for real estate,
my gosh.
Open houses and stuff. So it's a very similar experience. But I look, I have an exciting vision of the yoga community that we're going to bring into the Beyond Today community. And I know it's just going to be a matter of time. We went from no students now to one student. Pretty soon that'll be 3 students. Pretty soon we're going to have full classrooms here, and we're going to be able to add more classes through the week. But I look at it like, we're all making splashes in the universe, right? You make splashes through the work that you're doing. You make splashes through your work you're doing. So if you think about dropping a rock in a lake and it's going to make a splash, and those ripples, some of them will go out farther than others, but basically that ripple will go affect people. So somebody driving by 28th Drive may not even know about this community, will see those signs maybe 2, 3, 4 weeks in a row, and then something might click for them, and they'll go, you know what, maybe tonight's the night I'm going to go see where those signs are pointing to. And it may be somebody who's never been introduced to yoga ever before, and all of a sudden we've started a new series of ripples, a new series of splashes in somebody else's life. And so, I really do believe what we do and during this journey and on this planet does echo through eternity.
I love it. That was very well put, very beautiful. I hope that other people take that and run with it.
Me too. That was something that you and I have talked about. Is the ripple effect that is spreading that love out there, and it just does. It's a domino effect, a ripple effect, whatever it is. That one little thing. Like Cindy's last client, she had that walked out of here. What a beautiful soul she was. That, and she's never experienced anything like this before. But she's going to go and she's going to tell other people. It's like, I had this remarkable experience with color and that, and she's going to tell other people and other people and other people and that, and it's going to come back around. That's what Beyond Today is built on, is that community of love where, somebody says, oh, you got to come here for this or you got to come here for this. The thing is that when you come here, don't always think that you're going to get something. Bring something, too, along with it, which is bring your open heartedness, your open minds, being open to thought and process that. And that's why I love you so much, Daniel, because you're that type of a person. You're open to that. Instead of coming to Beyond Today, and you didn't come here wanting something. You came here offering something. And I love that.
Thank you. I appreciate being seen on that. Yeah, for sure. And we're in a vibrational universe, right? We learned that quantum physics is telling us that there's no such thing as matter as far as, something that's dense and hard and can't be penetrated, is that everything is in vibration. So when, a lot of these communities, and I feel like a lot of these light workers or holistic workers or, whatever the term, some people get offended if you call them light worker or whatever.
True that.
I call it spiritual warriors, right?
Right,
and,
absolutely.
I like that.
whereas we're out, and we're not fighting against the enemy, but we're fighting for a vision that we want. And, there's definitely a lot of muck and yuckiness in the world, and we don't need to go into details about that. That's a separate podcast.
Yeah,
but
we got 5 podcasts now that we're going to be doing. According to you, yeah. According to what you said so far.
Okay. Yeah, I got podcasts for you. I've never done one of these before. When he said, I want you to do one, I said, okay. So, but yeah, the vibrational universe, and I know we'll attract that community, and I'm excited about bringing more energy to this community and more abundance and all of that to this and more healing and more awareness and more.
More.
How do you like it? How do you like it? More.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's the way I like it.
That's a different song, Cindy.
Oh, sorry.
Totally different song.
Wrong song.
Well, the fascinating part about this is that there's a huge group, and I can't mention their name because they asked me not to, that listens to our podcast. And it's actually, they pipe it through as these workers work. And they pick certain podcasts, and our podcast was one of those that they let everybody listen to. And we got this thing, a nasty note or letter sent to us saying, why haven't we got any podcasts? And so I was nicely telling them, I said, we're redoing, we got some new equipment here, we got some new stuff that's going to be coming out and everything else. And I said, is there anything you want to hear about? And they says, yes, we would like to hear about yoga. We don't get yoga. And I was like, well, you don't get yoga? What do you mean? It says, we sit in this room, most of them are from 8 to 10 hours in this room doing data collection. That's what they do. And they type it on the computer and everything else from 8 to 10 hours. Then they listen to our podcast. Hello out there, by the way. Everybody.
Hello. Thank you for listening.
Hello, unknown community or unnamed community.
Yes, unnamed community. You guys are wonderful, and I'm glad that. But the thing is they were talking about is that they're scared of yoga.
Yeah.
It's a fear that they have. It's like just me, like putting my yoga pants is my fear.
Yeah.
I'm not scared of yoga. It's the yoga pants I'm scared of.
Okay.
So what do they have to look forward to? What does it look like coming to a yoga class?
Well, here's one of the reasons why I got really passionate about yoga is I feel like a percentage of people are walking around in the world without any real awareness as to who we are, as far as, spiritual beings having this human experience, or beings having intuition, beings having, healing powers through color. So there's so much of us are in the dark about who we really are. And so for what yoga has been for me, as far as keeping me on path on my highest purpose, it's also been an education of people of understanding who we are as energy beings, what the chakra system is all about, what an aura is, intuition, all of these things that maybe, if you're just by the book and have been, whatever. So for me, it's just kind of a peeling back of the envelope as to an awareness of who we really are and what we're really capable of. So a first-time student to a yoga class would experience, first of all, we do some grounding breathing. We get in touch with the room. We start using our senses to really dive into the moment, because most of us are always in the past or always in the future. So, I invite people to tune into the tone of the room. How does the AC feel on your cheek? Observe your thoughts. Notice your connection with the floor. So we slow the timing down, and we invite people, and people start to tune in to the moment, and all of the noise in their life starts to get turned down, right?
Nice.
And so we energetically cleanse the body through breath. I noticed that a couple of the conversations I've had with people in here have been like, well, do you do chair yoga? Because I can't get off the floor. Yeah, I mean, the biggest portion of yoga is the breath and linking the breath to movement. And we can absolutely do that in a chair if you can't get off the floor. That being said, I can help you get off the floor too, if that needs to be.
You think you can help me get off the floor?
I could help you find you some yoga pants that'll fit you.
Apparently not off the floor, though.
I can do that. So, so
is that? Would that be from the tent and awning company?
We have some stuff that actually is a one size fit all. So you just tie.
Right.
So as you get smaller from doing
As I
more
get smaller,
yoga,
okay.
you'll be able to adjust your pants to that.
Beautiful.
Is that part of the toga
That's
theme or apparel?
sure.
Okay.
Bring your sheets.
Bring my sheets.
Bring
I
your
thought it
ki-
was. I thought, really seriously, I thought it was from the tent and awning company
Yeah.
that I'd have to go get my yoga pants from. Seriously. Now you look good in yoga pants.
Oh, well, thank you so much.
You do. I like that.
Yep,
It's-
I don't wear them enough, though, probably.
right,
huh?
and you probably don't do yoga either.
Not too much, yeah.
But see, Dan just told us that it was simple. We could do it in a chair. We could do it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You can. I'd like to actually experience one of your classes. And I'm going to put that on my bucket and to-do list. Thank you.
One of the first times I ever experienced yoga, Cindy and she knew it was my first time. We were yoga up in Payson. We did a retreat up in Payson.
That's kind of yoga I like.
Yeah, it was called Yoga Nidra. And I was all worried and everything else. I didn't know how this was going to go down, and I was scared of yoga because you watch yoga on TV and
Sure.
that it's like the downward dogward towards this where, you know, I had no idea what was happening. So she says, no, Rod, it's just really relaxing. You'll really like this. And so next thing I know, I'm laying there and I'm hearing people. And it's like, are people snoring next to me? Well, yes, they are. And it's like, I can just relax. I love this yoga. That was my first experience with yoga, and it was an amazing yoga.
Absolutely.
It was.
Yeah,
very...
absolutely. And we, the thing is a lot of people see, these yoga tricks and these intense yoga postures on journals and Facebooks and the whole bit, and they think that's what yoga is. And if you want to come to yoga just for strength and toning, that's definitely there for you. But a lot of people come to the practice for more than that, and there is more. It's an ancient science. The breath work, the meditation, all of these things. And I pride myself in being able to deliver a class that is digestible for the class level of the class. So it's not all about me getting up there doing a yoga 3 flow and getting you into a handstand and getting your ankles behind your ears.
What?
On the first day.
On the first day.
I heard what you just said, right?
Yes.
I heard that, right?
We're definitely going next Tuesday.
I'm not going any further with that one.
I think that what yoga's highest gift to people is not only the de-stressing and the grounding, but I think that it quiets the noise of life so that we really can tune into higher callings and higher purposes. And that's what I really feel that the biggest gift to yoga has been in my life. you know. And I often joke, if it wasn't for yoga, you could have waved at me in my orange jumpsuit on the side of the freeway, right?
Wow.
You know, like if I, you know, I didn't have that to deal with all of losing everything during, you know, the real estate loss that I experienced, you know, I'd have lost it. You know, if you, especially if you identify with your material things and your equity and your bottom line and your cars and,
Right.
you know, your hot shot status.
Well,
True.
you're a hot shot to me. You know that? You're still a hot shot.
Hot shot in a different arena,
Yes.
right?
Hot shot. What do you think is a hot shot?
Hot dog.
Definitely. He's got his power on. He's got his yellow.
Yep.
Got-
Well, that was my nickname, Hot Dog, in high school, by the way.
Nice.
You know,
oh.
I was a hot dog.
Oh.
I was a wrestler.
Like Wiener Schnitzel
No,
kind
no,
of hot
no.
dog?
I was a wrestler, and I hot dogged everything.
Oh.
Yes, it was just, never mind.
Yep. Can I ask a question, please?
Sure.
Thank you. So I enjoy hiking the mountain. It's more kind of partially running and hiking, but I was also told that yoga would be good for me to have some sort of balance. So I fought it and fought it and fought it. Finally, I decided, okay, I'll try it. And the young lady who was the instructor, teacher, she was beautiful. She was wonderful. She said, and so I did really well. I enjoyed it, but I just still love running and hiking the mountain. I like that. I like to move fast, but I understand that I probably should slow it down in my life. What do you think? Is that really a question? But
Well-
I guess my question is the balance, right?
Well, a lot of people, I have a conversation with a lot of people and invite them to class, and they'll say, well, I can't do yoga because I'm not flexible, you know? And I'm like, well, that's a great reason to start a practice, right? And the flexibility isn't necessarily a black-white affair, right? It can be a shades of gray affair. And it can be inflexibility in the mind, right? I'm not flexible. So it's a limiting belief system. And so we come to yoga, we start practicing, and all of a sudden the body starts opening up, and we realize, oh, we are flexible. So yes, balance is a benefit of the practice. Sometimes people come to say to me, I can't meditate because my mind's so active, right? Have you heard
Oh, you
this?
get
Oh,
that
yeah,
a
yeah.
lot,
Right.
yeah.
Okay, that's the beginning stages of meditation, is realizing that we have monkey mind, and it's jumping from thought to thought like a hungry monkey on a jungle journey, right?
Make
And-
that noise. Make that noise.
There
There you go.
like that?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
Sorry. I like that noise.
So if you like the benefits of a more active hike or something like that, maybe a yoga that's a little bit more high energy would be a good yoga class for you. But
Okay.
let's get the basics down first, and then we can play with some flows or some different pieces like that.
Sure.
The hardest yoga posture is getting your butt to the mat posture.
Getting my butt to the mat posture.
Did we lose it? Yeah, getting your butt to the mat posture is making the decision to come to class and getting your butt on the mat. From there, it's at the downhill coast most of the
Gotcha.
time. Yeah.
So, but it is okay if I just really have a passion more for the mountain, right? And
Sure.
running and hiking. Do I have to have the yoga for the balance? Do I need that balance?
No.
Or is it just maybe a plus if I did it?
If you, I remember reading a passage in Eckhart Tolle's book, The Power of Now, and he talks about why people are so passionate about rock climbing. And so when you're on this big face of a rock and you're holding on for dear life, even though you have safety equipment, you're completely in the moment. You're nowhere else. You're not wondering what's for dinner. You're not wondering what Rod's up to. You're not wondering if you left the stove on. You are so in the moment, and it's such a meditative experience. So to me, that's yoga. You know, let's say do you paint? Are you a painter? You don't paint. Let's say if you were a painter
I don't mind.
and you
but-
got so involved into a painting, and all you were doing is breathing slowly and focusing on the minute details that you're putting on that into that painting. Well, that's yoga. You know, hiking a mountain and being completely immersed in the moment and noticing the crunch of your feet on the rocks as you walk up this mountain, and you're appreciative of nature and you're breathing slowly and deeply. That's a yoga. So, you know, I'll never come to you and say you need to do yoga. I'll invite you to come practice
Yeah.
and see for yourself what it might be, if it might be a different experience from something that you've experienced somewhere else.
Thank you. Yes, I get it. What's interesting, I notice I have evolved a lot in because that's my meditation most of the time. 'Cause that's my quiet time is typically when I'm on the mountain. Because that's almost the only time I get it, feels like most of the time. But I've evolved from, having this conversation. I used to go out and just talk, have this conversation with myself and the universe, and it was beautiful. And I still kind of do that, but actually I've noticed I'm more quiet and I am more observant. And I actually like to, you're always looking down anyway, so you don't, stumble on a rock, but I actually see a lot of heart-shaped rocks. And that's what I've been noticing more. And it's like really pretty to, be hiking and running, but you're still looking down and like, oh my gosh. So I see a heart-shaped rock and I, give thanks to it for being there and sending me love. And that's what I kind of noticed. I'm a little bit more quieter now, a little less in the mind. So
Wonderful.
yeah, I thought that was pretty good for myself
Yeah.
too. Something different.
Not my circus, not my monkeys.
Yeah, I leave those at home most of the time now.
Really? Good for you. I'm glad to hear that. Absolutely glad to hear that. I'm so excited about everything that's going on here, and I'm so glad that you're part of this huge thing that's happening at Beyond Today. So we talked about the general classes and everything else. That are you going to be teaching some more experienced classes?
Absolutely. The idea is that we get an introduction, we get the word out, we start getting a following, and then at some point we'll add a Friday afternoon class, and then we'll look at your calendar and we'll see what we can't fit in. I think a minimum of 3 classes at some point fairly quickly would be a great goal. I don't know if that's going to be a month or 2 months or what that's going to be. But and that can grow into much more too, and involving other teachers. I know that you guys have done some work with Wendy Falcon, and she brings a really nice piece to it. And I know dozens and dozens of teachers that bring really unique pieces from the whole, yoga, pie or the yoga, whatever you want to call yoga community. From, like you said, the meditative yoga nidra, meditative, yoga piece where you don't even have to move. Right.
That's my
What
favorite.
about hot yoga?
Yeah, I teach a hot yoga class 3 times a week downtown at Phoenix Chi Yoga, Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 6:15 a.m.
Nice.
And we heat the room up and we do a 60-minute session, and the body sweats and the body opens, and the detoxifies and cleanses, and so it's you have
How hot is it?
94, 95 degrees.
Wow.
About that, 96 maybe.
Cindy, you will try it and tell me what it's like. Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, that would be fun.
Absolutely. And, not only do the hot yoga is nice because you get the physical detoxification that happens from sweating. And so, one of the things and I went to a really great lecture by Dr. Mitra Ray recently talking about how this city environment that we live in has so many levels of toxicity, from the water to the air to even the radio and TV waves that are coming through us all the time, to the food, which is another area I'm very passionate about. So we have we're just bombarded by toxic levels of just not good stuff, right? To not put it very eloquently, but
Yes.
we don't have fears of polio anymore, but we have a whole new host of issues. If you look around our society and our communities, and you look at youth, young people dealing with obesity, and when I taught
Diabetes.
ASU, I saw so many kids with arthritis and eczema issues, and you think, God, what is this 20-year-old doing with eczema?
Exactly,
What is
yeah.
this 20-year-old doing with arthritis? And so detoxifying the body through sweat and partnering with that with yoga is huge, and detoxifying the body through clean eating and cleanses is something that I also do. Is also very good for the body, the mind, and the spirit. So, and so teaching yoga for about 5 years. Something kind of interesting happened as I was starting to speak into issue with a lot of issues in my body around my joints. So I started to deal with a lot of inflammation, stiffness, pain, and I couldn't figure out what was going on. I was a good eater. I stayed away from red meat. I did no refined sugar, a little bit of beer and wine drinking, but hard liquor and nothing in
Right.
really large amounts. And so I would hobble into a yoga class with my golf putter as I was using for crutch, and I would sit my happy butt on the floor and I would direct the class from the floor. And here I was, a yoga teacher, supposed to being a model of flexibility and flow and openness. And so it was a very scary time for me, actually, because I was determined that I wasn't going to go back to real estate because I was bitter at the banking system and predatory lending, and that's another podcast. But
That's 6 now.
I got a lot of podcasts. Like my son's name is Noah, and he told me the day his teacher calls him Noah a lot. I don't know. I don't know if that's because he's a chip off the old block or what. But
I was gonna say, where did you get that from?
I know, right? I try to be humble and knowing a little, maybe. But where was I? Where was I at?
The crutch.
The crutch, yes, and the pain.
Yes.
Oh, so this scared me because I was like, well, I'm not going to be a realtor again. And then all of a sudden, my body started to shut down on me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so when that starts to happen, and you've lost 6 homes, you start to look at homeless people a little bit differently.
Oh,
And
absolutely.
you start to I did, at least. I started to realize that my living situation, if I didn't have family and friends, wasn't too far away from people living in tents. I mean, you can go down the street here on 35th Avenue, and I can show you people living in tents, 2 or 3 blocks,
Right.
and that's another podcast. but you realize how I realized if my body shut down, and I needed my body to work, that I would be in a very scary situation.
Oh, sure.
And so at that same time, I had another friend who was very passionate about growing food, and he was doing aquaponic gardening, which is a form of gardening where you use fish poo to grow your plants. And he was doing pot gardening, growing food in pots. And
Inside pots?
inside pots, yeah. Growing
Clarify the
I know.
pot thing here.
food inside pots. And so my buddy Jeff, he's one of these guys that doesn't play with things. He dives in head first and go big or go home. So he was watching the YouTube videos, and next thing you know, he's got this huge pond in the backyard, and he's got these grow beds, and we're growing all this food. And
Nice.
yes, it was a lot of fun. And one day he brought this system home, he's like, you're going to love this. This is a hydroponic growing system. It's from Epcot Center, and it's absolutely ridiculous, and it's going to grow great food. And I was like, all right, let's see. And so 30 days later, he had this system outside that was just growing all these fresh, better than organic, great tasting vegetables and kales and lettuces and herbs. And so a light went off in my head because I thought, well, this is a solution, right? One, it's in your backyard, and it's not we're not shipping food green from the other side of the country, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so it made a lot of sense to me. So that was my introduction to starting to grow food and helping people to grow food, which was a great partner to the yoga. And the other aspect of that was of the growing food piece was a technology called Fruits and Vegetables. You guys might have heard of it, but what they were doing is actually partnering with farmers in the U.S. that were growing food non-GMO. They were growing food without pesticides, and then they were picking the food only when ripe. So they would take these fruits and vegetables, grind them up into a pulp, and then place them in a capsule. And so a friend of mine introduced this to me, the Tower Garden, and these capsules to me, and I put them in my body, and I took them, and I started noticing differences in energy and in digestion and all kinds of wonderful things. And so I thought, well, what if we could partner yoga? What if I could be an advocate of yoga and an advocate of good eating? And so that's been my journey of late in the last 2 years.
Wonderful.
Good for you. So how many things do you have your fingers into?
Quite a bit, and sometimes I feel like I have to scale down on things because I'm trying to do too many things at once. But those are the biggest pieces right now that we're doing. So it's the fruits and vegetable capsules, the tower gardening, and the yoga. So
Wow.
And then being a partner and a father, and and trying
Right, absolutely.
trying to have some fun with friends in the meantime and in between that as well.
Got to get that beer and wine in there.
Yeah, absolutely. Camping. We're
Camping,
We're big
camping.
campers too.
Really?
Yeah. Lake Bartlett. We try to do at
Oh
least
my gosh.
once a month. So
I have
Oh,
not
wonderful.
yet really camped in Arizona yet.
Wow. Well, what's the deal?
Lake
I don't know.
Bartlett is amazing. It's
Yeah.
kind of looks like kind of this without the concrete.
I think I was at Lake Bartlett. Didn't we take a boat ride on Lake Bartlett one time?
No.
Okay. I guess I wasn't there.
Wasn't that Canyon de Chelly or Canyon something or other?
Yeah, that's
I
what
don't
it was.
remember.
I have no idea. I don't get out much.
Lake Bartlett's amazing. I recommend. My neighbors just bought some kayaks, and I said, take them to Lake
I want
Bartlett.
to go kayaking.
I said, take them to Lake Bartlett. They didn't. Most people don't know Lake Bartlett's about an hour and a half northeast of here, and it's a $5 camping pass, and it's absolutely beautiful. It's just there's yellow cliffs. Sometimes you can see wild rams out there. We go.
That's where we were at. Is there like a ghost town or something like that that's by it
No,
too?
that's another lake.
That's
I know
a different
that's.
lake.
I think that's you're talking about Canyon, maybe.
Touche.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what you just said, wasn't it?
I think it was what I just said.
I should listen to Cindy more often, right? That's what I'm hearing in my head right
I
now.
think is Saguaro over in that direction too. Saguaro Lake. Yeah, we're getting a yes.
All right, good.
Thank
From
you.
the crowd. Over the Jack session. Hi, Jack. Anyway. What? Look at me
Nothing.
like that. That was weird. That was a weird pause. You know, that weird pause that you get. Kids just look at each other.
I love those weird pauses. Actually, I'm a big proponent of silence,
Yes.
and I like when it's quiet. But I know we're doing a
Absolutely.
show, so we need to fill in those
Fill
pauses.
in those blanks.
Fill in
Exactly.
those
So,
pauses.
Yeah.
so it's a couple little things that I wanted to ask you, on my side of questioning, because Cindy already got her whole question she wanted to ask you.
Yeah. Thank you for allowing me.
She did not. She's got more questions, I know. So you walked in here, you saw this big banner of the Rod and Cindy podcast banner. What did you think of it?
Oh my gosh.
The banner with the stars on it.
Yes.
For a second, if you guys have a pink
Scarf.
Yeah. Yes.
cloth and a
Yep.
blue one. If it had been a flag, I would have thought you guys were running for office. But
Right?
a good thing for the pink and the blue. I know. I think it's great. Can we put it out on 28th Drive with
Well,
the yoga signs?
Yeah, we probably could. We
This
could-
bird,
bird.
keeps trying to. There's a bird that keeps trying to fly in here.
I know.
Well,
Right? He wants to be part of the
This is
podcast.
podcast. We're pointing. It's like over there. Did you see that? No, it's a
Jeez.
bird.
I
That
love
would
the
be-
sign. It's great.
Yes, it is. Okay,
I know.
so but it's made for like us doing fairs and stuff like that because we want to do some live podcasts at some of the fairs and that. So
Okay.
I thought it would be very eye catching, and it's like
Oh, it's definitely.
But I found out
large.
today some lady walked by and she says, "I will vote for you too. I really like you too. I will vote for you too." I said, "Did you not read the banner?" And
I
she
love
goes,
it.
she goes, "You guys are running for something, aren't you?"
For independence.
That's
For
what I'm-
freedom.
running from
We're in
Cinda.
the freedom on
Cindy.
ticket.
Exactly.
The freedom and liberation
It's
ticket.
Freedom Liberation
That's
ticket.
right.
So,
The freedom within.
so what do you got coming up here? What are some of the beautiful
I
things
have
that
a
you have
lot
coming?
of actually really exciting pieces coming up that I'm really wanting to share with you.
Please do share.
One of the things that I have coming up this coming Thursday is an event at the Mellow Mushroom in Ahwatukee.
Oh my gosh, the mellow mushroom.
Mellow Mushroom, okay,
Yep.
in Ahwatukee, and we are doing. We're going to be getting together some speakers, and we're going to be doing an information event talking about the healing that we're seeing with the fruits and vegetable capsules that we're working with, and the tower gardening that we're working with. It's a really, really exciting project, and maybe we can do more on it on another podcast. But I got a list.
At
You're going to be
7.
sorry you invited me to a podcast.
Wait. So do you think our banner, if we took that down there,
Maybe.
maybe people might vote for us?
Maybe.
Can do some campaigning.
If we can do a banner in the front and then a banner on the back, and then put it on a spinning jobby,
Oh, there we go.
I think
A
And
spinny
I'll say
jobby.
vote for him.
yes,
Vote for Dan.
Yes.
Dan the man.
yes.
So how do we get back onto
And
the
his
banner?
healthy
He's talking
capsules.
about these beautiful
Because he said he was collecting people at Ahwatukee. I didn't know if we could be a part.
people.
We'll collect them in that huge banner that you guys have.
Yes.
I'm sorry.
That's
I
all
just,
good.
Go ahead.
No,
Ed.
I love it. I'm excited about your banner. It's great. I want
Thank
to put
you.
it in the back. If I had a truck, I'd put it on the back of my truck
Oh my
next to
word.
my flag and put a light on it like some of these guys are doing. You see them driving around? It's phenomenal.
So let's get off the banner because I
I
know,
know.
exactly how
Sorry,
you guys
just-
feel about my
just
banner
was-
I made.
Making fun.
That's
Don't
anyway,
knock his
of that.
banner.
I mean,
But you know what?
just making fun.
I'm going to post that banner on our Facebook. Our
I
Facebook
think
is
he
the
has
Rod and
some
Cindy
more lists
podcast.
here
I
to
wanted to
talk
take
about.
a picture of the banner, actually.
Exactly. But we're going to post this on the Rod and Cindy podcast on Facebook. And if you want to join us on Facebook, that's where it's at, the Rod and Cindy podcast.
And
on
vote for
Facebook.
us.
And we are going to actually see some comments on that one. I want to see what you guys think of this banner. It's a beautiful banner. Okay. Sorry, Dan. Let's add some more stuff.
Absolutely. So the other thing that I'm doing is actually I have a good friend in Scottsdale, and her name is Jody Stokes. Hopefully she's listening.
Hi, Jody.
Listening. Hi, Jody Stokes.
Hi, Jody.
She's such an angel. She's a really neat person. Another stubborn Taurus bull like myself.
Oh boy.
So we're having a lot of fun. But she has a gym in Scottsdale called God is Fit, and it's
I like
only
the
for women.
name.
Oh, it's a great name, and she's got a great logo, and she's on it. She's over there helping these women get in tune with health and exercising right and great body image. And I'd like to add a couple more onto that list too, but we're working on that. So, but anyways, Jody and I have teamed up to do what's called a 21-day boot camp starting in June, and it's geared towards the young ladies coming home from school for the summer. And so we're going to partner a exercise regime with clean eating and with the products I work with Juice Plus, and we're going to have a great time, and we're going to impact a lot of young women's health. And I look forward to doing more of those with her. So that's starting in early June, and you can get a hold of me to learn more about that.
And how do they get a hold of you, Dan?
The best way, can I shout out my phone number?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay. So my number
Every
is
Tom, Dick, and Harry is going to be calling you.
Okay,
You know
well,
that.
the best way to get a hold of me, the easiest way is through phone, 623-349-2540, 623-349-2540 is
a little slower. One more time.
okay, 623-349-2540.
Perfect.
Is the best way. If you want to find me from my website, I'm at www.danielmedina.towergarden.com, danielmedina.towergarden.com. And then you can find me on Facebook, Daniel Medina. There's a lot of them, so the easiest way to find me on Facebook is just to probably follow the link or search my email, which is reosteals@gmail.com. And you can just type that in, and it'll pull me up right away. So
Did you get that?
it's a lot.
ROST something or other.
REO
REO.
Steals, STEALS @gmail.com.
REO steals.
Uh-huh.
What does REO steal?
Real estate owned, actually.
Really?
So from my days
Didn't
in-
you go to see REO this last
I
Friday?
was doing
I
my
did.
real estate days.
For Celebrity Theater, the air conditioning on the hot day. I heard it was even a record-breaking day that day.
Yes. So REO steals
Mhm.
at gmail.com.
Uh-huh.
Sorry.
Yes,
Right.
that's
Awesome.
it. Yes,
I got it.
You
I
got it.
Yep.
You got
So
it.
what else do you have going on?
I got something called an abundance project going on. So
I saw that.
okay, so here's the so one of the things that happens, and that my degrees in finance, and I grew up with starving artist parents, and so I think there's this struggle with a lot of leaders in the spiritual community, or many leaders, or many people in the spiritual community, around having financial abundance, but also being in integrity with what you're working with, and really being of value, because we find so much of the work that we do in other arenas, in that the matrix, or the 2D reality of making money and paying bills, is always a lot of people just think, well, I just got to go find a good job, work my 60 years, and get my gold watch, and everything will be hunky-dory. And so we know that that's not really the reality that we discover as we get into life and we start to go out there. So one of the things that I've noticed in my own life, and I know that is reality for a lot of other people in their lives, is the stresses around money, of not having enough not having the financial abundance to meet the bills, even to have a little bit extra after the end of the month. And so I think, one of the things, if you know anything about Tauruses, is what we're are you a Taurus?
No.
Okay.
We're Geminis.
Okay, Gemini. My dad's a Gemini.
Yeah.
So Tauruses I've been studying financial abundance my whole life, and I thought that the real estate arena was going to be the arena that put that piece into place for me. And it wasn't. It didn't. And then it's a journey, and we fall down and we get back up. But what I was really looking for after real estate ended for me was I wanted to be sure that it was something that I was really passionate about, in order for me to go out and put my energy into it and to share with my communities. I wanted to make sure that it was really something of value for me, and that I was really in alignment with. So I found that when I found the Tower Gardens and the Juice Plus. So the other piece about that is helping others with their finances as well, and understanding abundance and energy flow and those types of things. So the Abundance Project is, the goal is by May of next year, I want to help at least 100 people make at least $500 additional monthly income to their $500 additional monthly income to their finances. Okay.
Am
You
I
guys
his
can't
first
see that, but
candidate?
Cindy's hand was the first hand up, by the
Cindy's
way.
hand went up with some help.
Yes, with a little help from
And
me.
then 2 years from now, I want at least 100 people making at least another $1,000 a month. And 3 years from now, the goal is to have another 100 people, the same 100 people, or maybe other 100 people making at least $1,500 in addition to their month, what they're doing already. And so we're using, collaboration, we're using teamwork, we're using working together, we're using reprogramming of poverty wells consciousness. The paradigm or the program is a system of working together instead of in competition. So in most businesses, it's a dog eat dog or shark eat shark. It's I get ahead at your expense. And so we have this mentality of this survival of the fittest bullshit that's been fed to us, excuse my French, survival of the fittest paradigm or program that we've been fed or stamped with. And so that's why we're so competitive with one another. And so if we can get into a business arena where people are actually working together, invested in each other's success, learning to put each other's differences aside for a higher goal, which is the healing of the planet through more fruits and vegetables, and yoga, right? Diet and exercise is not a big secret. We know that it's diet and exercise is the implementation. And so when we bring community into that, we bring tribe into that, we bring heart wisdom into that, and we bring visualization and faith and trust and love and forgiveness and all of those pieces into that equation. All of a sudden, we have more people in our community that are not worried about keeping the lights on, not worried about how they're going to afford braces for Junior, not worried about the right side of the menu anymore. So that's the goal. That's my passion. We're going to get it done, and I invite as many people as I can to be a part of that.
That's beautiful, Dan.
Thank you.
I love that. That's really beautiful. Of
That was
course,
good.
I have to say something funny though, but the right side of the menu. What is the right side?
The
of the
right
menu?
side of the menu is where all the prices are.
Right.
Yeah.
I didn't know that. Cindy had to point that out to me one day.
She pays the bill when you guys go
No,
out?
she
No.
doesn't. No, she always says, "How come you ordered the most expensive thing on
Oh,
the
because
menu?"
you don't know how to see the right side.
Because I don't know how to see the right side. I never have. You know what? I always have abundance. I have money to pay for it, but it's the idea. I don't look. It's like I never had that. If something feels good to me, I want it, and abundance will give it. I will make sure I have it somehow. And I'm not a rich person. No, not at all. But it's the idea that it's going to be there. And
Faith in the universe.
Faith in the universe, exactly. And Cindy looks at me and says, "Oh my God, how come we just spent $80 on this meal? Have faith, honey. Have faith." And she goes, "Are you kidding me? Have faith on what? It was an $80 meal we just ate. We could have went to McDonald's, had the dollar meal."
No McDonald's.
I know.
No, we don't do fast food.
We don't do fast food.
I think one of the things that I want to bring up too is the whole piece around money, and this we can do more on this as well. But there are certain systems in place on a worldwide level that enforce this concept of lack, right? So why are we carrying so much balances on our credit cards? Is because we like paying the minimum amount on an 14, 15, 16, 18% credit card? No, it's because through our best efforts, I would say for the most part, people are not lazy. They are working hard. They're working their, So why is it that we have people working hard and still in the situation? Well, there's systems in place, or, you want to call them programs or hypnosis or a matrix or a veil or whatever. There's these things in place in our societies and in other countries too. It's just not an American invention, right?
Yep.
And so part of this awareness of people becoming more aware of money and a lot of things that we're seeing now, where people are trying to determine the reality by all this news that's coming out, and is the Snopes have the angle on it, or does Wikipedia have the angle on it, or does this video on YouTube have the angle? What is the truth, right? So this concept of fake.
The Rod and Sydney podcast is true.
this whole concept of what's fake news and how people
Right.
determine the reality is a huge topic right now. And I think it's part of this awakening, which is happening slowly or fast, depending on who you're talking to. I thought it was going to happen in 2012. I was ready for 3 days of darkness and switching of the poles, but it didn't happen, right? So I think we're starting to see some of those changes now. But the financial powers and the banking systems, and I don't want to make it this about a victim story, but having awareness on how these systems work and then having a plan to work with others towards winning, I think is part of my life's calling.
Well, I think that's right on. We got to bring this guy back because there's so much information he has that we got to pick another topic and everything else. But we're going to have to kind of wrap this up a little bit. And how we wrap it up, it usually takes forever for us to wrap it up anyway. So
We need the 15-minute.
yeah. So you have anything else coming up besides the yoga?
That's all I wrote down.
That's all you wrote down.
I definitely want to. I definitely want to invite people to participate in this community, in the massage work that's involved here, and the Reiki work, and the color healing, and come down and be a part of the community and meet us and see what we're up to for sure.
Absolutely.
Yes.
And we have more exciting people coming to Beyond Today, not only to teach, but to work here and do a lot of facilitating out of here. It's going to be beautiful. And, of course, Dan, you're one of those facilitators, so thank you.
Yeah.
We're Beyond Today has lifted its veil, and we're ready to rock and roll.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Well, hello, my dear Cindy. What do you have coming up here?
I do. I have a few things. Well, first of all, this Sunday is Mother's Day, so ooh, I know how
Happy
beautiful.
Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day to all you beautiful ladies out there.
Happy Mama's Day.
Yeah. So we are doing our Sunday Beyond. It's going to be geared this Sunday, of course, towards the feminine energies, feminine talk, moms, and whatnot. I don't know exactly. Oh, and I videotaped this morning the cutest little things. We have these little mama ducks with little tiny babies, and they're trying to paddle in the water. So stinking cute. And then we have these geese who have their babies. So I videotaped them this morning. It was like perfect. So I'm in the background on Sunday morning. I'm going to play those 2 videos. It's about equivalent of about 9 minutes. So we'll talk about all that. Also on May 19th is a Friday. Karen, Diane, and I are doing a beautiful sound.
Oh, not Karen Diane.
Yes.
She's coming here?
Yes.
Karen Diane's going to be here.
She's going to be here in the flesh and the beauty and everything
my
about
gosh.
that goddess.
Oh my God, what a goddess! She does gong, she does crystal
bowls.
Oh my goodness, what is she going to be here for?
To do just that.
And what else?
Yes, and we're collaborating. I'm going to do color healing simultaneously as she's doing the gong and the crystal bowl. It's a beautiful meditation. It's Friday evening on the 19th. Look it up on Beyond Today. Sign up and come and experience this experience. Also, Synchronized Healing this Saturday, Rod and I. It's always a sold-out show. It's a beautiful experience. You have a male and female energies collaborating together and synchronized. Our vibrations are at the same level. So, well, I think mine are more higher, but just saying. Oops. No, it's a beautiful experience. You got the balance of the male and the feminine and masculine energies. Also, we have our panel of 4 later this month. I'll let Rod share that. And thank you so much. Anytime, call this number at Beyond Today, 602-374-49226. Ask for Cindy and just get some beautiful color healing going on as well. Color is important to us. It's part of our everyday life, 24/7. If you haven't experienced it, please do. Color has its own vibration as long as sound does as well. But come on down and join us for a beautiful experience here at Beyond Today.
Woohoo! I'm excited. Well, there's a lot of great stuff that's happening here.
I know.
Besides our synchronized healing, which I love. I love working with you in the synchronized healing. Mm-hmm. These beautiful colored silks that you have and everything was so amazing. Then we have the Beyond Sundays. it's kind of like a Sunday service. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. It goes until 9:30. It's a beautiful time here at Beyond Today. Last week we did open heart meditation with it, and we talked about the heart and what the chakra had to do with the heart and everything. What a beautiful blessing! We had a nice group of people here. That it's donation only. Did you know that? It's donation only. It's what a beautiful thing.
I
to
love
come and learn things.
donation.
So Cindy and I will be doing this Sunday, coming up Mother's Day Sunday, about feminine movement, feminine ideas, feminine things. And it's really beautiful stuff that we're going to be talking about. But then the week after that, guess who our guest speaker is going to be coming here to do it?
Ooh, I don't know. We have a few lined up.
We have Ron Interpreter signed.
Ron Interpreter. Yay.
Yes, and if you guys don't know who Ron Interpreter is, find out who he is. Come and check him out. He's a pretty awesome guy. He's got a lot of great gifts and some wonderful medicine that he brings along for that amazing man. Yes, that is his real last name, Ron Interpreter. He will interpret things for you. Yes, he will. And then the week after that, Tina Fritz. She's going to be talking at this Sunday. Remember, these are only donation only. This is what a beautiful time to come out and share and see this a beautiful experience that we have. I'm thrilled. We also May 27th. This is what you were just talking about. The intuitive panel with Rod, Cindy, and Courtney.
And
Moselle. I can't forget Moselle. All right. These 4 beautiful people, which Cindy and I are part of it, that will be doing readings. We have no idea who it is we're reading for, though. Because you come in, you'll write your little message on it, and we'll put it in a box, and we'll draw out of there. Now, we have this projector. It projects what you're asking, your question. It will be projected on the wall. And then we'll give a reading for what we feel off that projected on the wall. The funny thing is that Moselle is a forensic handwriting expert. She's been on shows, movies, and everything else that she directs these beautiful things. Books. Oh, my gosh, what a beautiful woman. That Courtney Long. Oh, my gosh, the angel
Beautiful
woman.
little angel.
Oh, my gosh, what an amazing person she is. She's very famous. A lot of people know who she is now. And then the beautiful Cindy Mooby will be in the house.
That's me. Yay,
she's going to be doing some of her most beautiful, talented readings along with all these beautiful people in that. And of course, you have Rod Lyman, of course.
There you are, right there in the flesh.
Yes, absolutely. That's May 27th. Get your tickets now. You can go to Beyond Today. It's beyond2day.com. Get your tickets now and reserve your seat. They're only $40. Did you believe that? They're only $40. Do not forget the 13th coming up here. Rod and Cindy, Synchronized Healing. It's beautiful because it's donation only. It's we're usually sold out. I don't even know if we have any more room left, but we are usually sold out by now.
It's true that.
But so check, see if we have any room for you. And that call up is 602-374-4926. That phone number again, 602-374-4926. It's going to be a fabulous thing. We love doing our podcast, what we do, and that we have this beautiful room, we have this beautiful equipment and everything else. That we would love to have some sponsorship. If you would like to sponsor Beyond Today, Cindy's, my podcast, and we're all over the place. We get an average of 300 to 400 downloads a day. And we love our podcast. We love doing what we do, and that we have over 90,000 downloads this year alone.
That's spectacular.
Woohoo!
That's awesome.
That is. It's awesome. I love what we do. So
me too. We have awesome guests. Thank you, Daniel,
yes.
again.
We can't do it without guests like Daniel and other people that we've had on.
Yes, and I have some special ones getting ready to come up.
That's where I was leading into, Cindy. Is that
I figured
we're
so.
also
I read your
having
mind.
this beautiful, because you're intuitive. We have this beautiful thing coming up for this podcast, and I'm going to turn it over to let Cindy kind of explain, and then we're going to kind of close this up. And that's so. What do you got there, honey?
Thank you. Yes, I have lined up a few ladies so far and gentlemen. We are going to be talking about some feminine energies. I do believe that they are very prevalent right now in our society, if you will. And with that being said, Mary Magdalene, she's going to be one of our star key people that we're going to talk about. The long and short of it, she was robbed of what her gifts were. And I believe that her gifts are being very much prevalent right now. I feel it. I feel her. And we're going to just go from there. And so far we have about 4 people lined up, working on some more. So if you'd like to be a part of this podcast and you have information about feminine energies or goddesses or Mary Magdalene or what have you, give me a call at that number we keep mentioning.
602-374-4926.
There you go. And I'd like to have these podcasts for a while. I think it's going to be very beautiful.
Yeah, we're going to be doing a series of them, which I'm excited about on that. So besides our other podcasts, we're just going to add this into as a series. And it's going to be a special series. And if you'd like to sponsor that too, that would be the one also to sponsor that series.
Absolutely.
It's going to be beautiful. And that it's 602-374-4926. Sponsor us.
Yes, and Rod and I will be doing some together here soon. Something I came up with today. He doesn't know about it yet.
Oh my gosh, surprise me.
I know.
Say
right?
it, say it.
Okay.
I'm excited.
So we have these amazing little miracles, if you will, or phenomenons, and almost every week it's something very spectacular. So I call them mini miracles, M-I-N-I, mini miracles with exponential meanings. So I thought it would be kind of neat to maybe do podcasts on our experiences that we have.
I would love that. That'd be awesome. If I mean, visualize it, it's even more beautiful that to see some of the things that happen for us. But it's unbelievable. The text messages, the phone calls, the things that we get out of the blue from phone numbers that are no longer in service. It's awesome. Printers printing things out that we have no idea. Pictures just showing up on our Facebook or on our phones and that.
Yep.
It's amazing.
It is. We will talk about a subject or something will be in our mind or we're talking about it and all of a sudden all these things start popping up about it. It's really spectacular, amazing. Or here real quick, when Rod is sick, his phone wants to call me.
Why are you calling
We
her?
don't know why. It's the
I don't
bizarrest but most beautifulest thing
The
ever.
bizarrest. Yeah, it's Bizarria world.
Yes. May I please say one more thing?
Oh my gosh, go ahead. It's
Thank
your
you.
podcast.
Thank you. I want to say that tomorrow evening we are hosting once again here at Beyond Today a celebration of life
Oh yes.
for a beautiful young lady who is 42 past. What I'd like to say is that we want to offer this more here at the center. If you would like to, call us today or tomorrow or whenever in the future for a celebration of someone's life, we would be happy to facilitate that here. And it's a beautiful scenery here inside and out. The energies are gorgeous inside now. It's a beautiful place to do it. The first time we did it, they let white doves off, and it was over the lake here. It was just so beautiful and serene and divine. So we want to, give us a call and maybe we can work something out and offer this too. What do you think, Rod?
I think that's a beautiful idea. I love doing stuff like that. You just got to check this place out. Beyond Today is just gorgeous. It is. It's beautiful. Dan,
Thank you
the
so
man,
much.
What a pleasure to have you here, man.
Thank you, love.
If you can't see, we're shaking his hand because we appreciate him so much. Hugs will be later, and that love. If you want to be part of one of our guests, then let us know too at the 602-374-4926 number. Let us know that. Check Dan out. Check out his yoga. Check out what we do.
It's
here.
delicious food. I want to.
Yes.
Oh,
Try it
fresh
all.
food. Oh my
Yeah.
gosh, yes.
Do you make smoothies or shakes
Yes.
or blenders
Yeah,
of something when you do your yoga?
absolutely.
Oh,
Yeah.
yay.
Yes.
Okay, that's another podcast.
Yeah, bend and blend. So y'all bring some. I work with like bend and blend, right? Or blend and blend. I don't know the order, but I'll bring some samples in. I work with an awesome vegan shake product that we can sit. One of the things that really calls to me is we can sit and post about all the evil, and we can post about all the problems, and we can post and get stuck on fighting the enemy, and all we do is make that stronger, right? It's the Mother Teresa's wisdom of taking the march for peace. So I found my life got a lot more powerful when I started to align myself with solution. So solution is exercising our bodies. Maybe for you is hiking. Maybe you start to get involved in yoga, or for other. So yoga has been a piece of exercise that has called me, and then the other piece of that is nutrition. And so fruits and vegetables, and some of these children don't even know what a broccoli is, or if it's a tomato, or if it's a this, that. So we have to reconnect our youth with food. And so, so absolutely. I love being part of the community, and I'll be back soon.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you,
Bye.
Rod.
Bye, Cindy. Have a good night.
All right. Bye. Thank
Bye,
you.
Cindy. Bye, Dan. Have a good night, you guys. Blessings from beyond today.
Much love.
Thanks for coming, you guys. God bless.
God bless.
Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Love and blessings.